Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. This is the tactical debrief, and I feel like it's the episode that everybody really enjoys. When people see me out and about, they do comment on the debrief quite a lot, so that's where I'm getting my information from. So if you are new around here, make sure you are subscribing. We are edging closer to 25k, which is absolutely huge. So I mean, after this episode, I feel like it's worth somebody subscribing. Smash the likes. Let's go for 1,000 and comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm going to put a disclaimer that this is probably the most in-depth tactical debrief we have done of the season. There's a lot of information in there. A lot of you enjoyed my Fulham little pun that I came up with yesterday, and on the thumbnail you will be able to see Youri Too Good, which is you're too good, but Youri Too Good. And this plays in with what this episode's all about. We are here today for the Youri Tielemans fan club edition of the tactical debrief. It's time that we wax lyrical about our best central midfielder this season. And something that I would like to add about him this season is that I am seeing captain material this season. I am seeing him on the pitch, stepping up, delivering, and having those tactical games that he's playing. He's personally playing so well. He's evolving as the season goes on into an absolute beast on that pitch for Aston Villa. Pressing, press resistant. He is attacking, driving us forward. And that goal that he scored yesterday had the hunger and the desire of a man that wants to play Champions League football again. And that is what we need. Players that encapsulate the manager. And Youri Tielemans' growth for Aston Villa has been nothing short of remarkable. And I absolutely love him. And he does go under the radar, but he's very, very good for Aston Villa. So on the tactical debrief, we're going to go in depth, taking a look at the stats, average positions, passing networks, bit of data. We're going to go to tactical pad. We're going to have a look at images from the game as well. So it is very in-depth today, but the best place to start is right here. Youri Tielemans is touch map against Fulham. As you can see, we're going in the upward direction, and it is just sublime. He's everywhere. He's on pretty much every blade of grass for Aston Villa. He's dominating matches. He's excelling in certain areas, such as progressive passes. And I am absolutely loving life with Youri Tielemans at the moment as well. And as we can see, Youri Tielemans is having his best career of his life. We can see here on SofaScore's stats that the numbers suggest that he's had some 7.10, 7.15s, 7.08 with Leicester. But with Aston Villa, that 7.34 is absolutely massive. The numbers, he's got 10 assists, 5 goals. The assists are up. He's had the most assists that he's ever had in his career as well. And we can see that compared to central midfielders in the Premier League, he's second. And he's climbing. He's climbing because when I showed this graphic a couple of weeks ago, he was 8th. So he's on course to be the best midfielder in the Premier League. So he's doing fantastic. And there's some really good midfielders in there. And Youri Tielemans is excelling, holding his own. He deserves to be spoken about a lot because he is a fantastic midfielder. And I'm just absolutely loving what he does. And I've got something really interesting because I wanted to have a little look at, you know, when sometimes you hear about sort of midfielders and what their role is in your team and how it all comes together, really. And I think it's one thing to look at Tielemans and go, you're excelling, you're running the show for Aston Villa. But why is he allowed to do that in this Villa shirt? Why is he the one that's doing it? And I wanted to have a little look at Tielemans compared to Kamara And my eyes will tell me one thing, but these stats back it up. So when I'm watching Villa, you've got Tielemans, who's allowed to be more progressive, get further forward. And he's the one that's allowed to be more expansive. And Kamara is the one that does more of the defensive work. And I think the two combined together complement each other so well. And the stats show it, because here we've got Youri Tielemans. So he's excelling. And I've got all of the top stats that he does. And then it gets lower and lower. And you find the stats that obviously he's not excelling in, or areas of his game that he doesn't really do a lot of. So here we've got top percentile 98 in through balls, in swinging corners, assists. So this is all stats per 90 based on players within his position in the top 5 leagues. We've got big ones such as passes from free kicks, 2.84, passes into the final third, 6.58. We have got dead ball passes, 5.73. We've got so many good things in here. Goals and assists, 0.34. We've got progressive passes, 6.65. Key passes, 1.61. Crosses, 3.13. Passes attempted medium, 25.01. Aerials, 158.5%. Passes completed, 21.83. Goal creating actions, 0.36. So those are the things that he's massively excelling in. Now, when you look at the things that he doesn't do a lot of per 90, and we can see here that we have got in here now clearances, interceptions, passes blocked, ball recoveries. Those then tie in with somebody that I think is very, very good at doing those things. What does Boubacar Kamara do? Very, very good. And we now have clearances, tackles, passes blocked, aerials. We've got percentage of aerials won. And this is what Boubacar Kamara is excelling at. And the combination of the two together allow both of them to function and be very, very good. Here then we have what Kamara's not as good at. And then we've got switches, assists, expected goals, crosses, progressive passes received. So the two, for me, just merge and marry together perfectly. And I wanted to highlight this because it shows that not only is Tielemans absolutely amazing, but it also shows that he can't do it without his partner. And I think that's really key to understand, that for everything that Tielemans can do well, he's got his mate behind him protecting him, which is allowing him to do that as well. So really, really fantastic. So here we've got now the passing network for Villa against Fulham. And as you can see, the right back and left back are fairly expansive, and everything else comes together. And we look very, very narrow again. And then we've got Fulham, who are quite expansive, lack of a network the further they go forward. And then you've got that 2 in there. Note the 2, because from the Villa point of view, we really wanted to exploit this 2 in the middle. And what you'll be able to see is that here now, we've got the average positions together on a tactical pad, and you can see the bigger picture now, and you can see the area that Villa really wanted to make sure we were dominating. And if I just draw this little square now, you can see here now that this area was the area in which the game was won, because we've condensed the middle of the pitch. We've completely overloaded the Fulham midfield. And then when you've got players like Iwobi, Wilson, Sessegnon, who do defend and can defend, but they're further up the pitch and they're focused mainly on attacking and trying to get us on transition, that Villa dominated this area, which enabled us to have more control and pose big problems, because you can see that we've really got 5 players that are virtually in behind the midfield 2 of Lukic and Sanderberg. So that's what Villa's tactic was, to overload and dominate those central areas. And I feel like we were able to do that. So what we're going to do is we're obviously going to chat a lot about Tielemans because he was involved in quite a lot for Aston Villa. So here we've got now then one of the big areas that I thought was very good in the build-up to this goal, and it's Ian Maatsen, because Fulham have been able to be on the attack. Ian Maatsen's brought the ball out, but he's drove forward, he's been aggressive, and he's gone forward, and that was massive. It then enables Morgan Rogers to sort of play a little bit of a nutmeg, but he plays this beautiful ball outside of the foot, right into Asensio's path. Asensio gets his shot off, and then Aston Villa get a corner. And this is where Asensio gets his shot. I do actually feel like he did sort of cross this, if I'm being totally honest. So we've got the corner from a Villa point of view, and it's an absolute bullet header from Youri Tielemans. One big thing to note in this is that the desire to get on the end of this, the desire to put the ball in the back of the net. I'm hungry, I want it, and I'm putting the ball in the net for Aston Villa. Now, the other thing to notice as well was Kamara being next to this player, then moving away, frees up space for Tielemans. But you've got to look at Tielemans' position, and this is something that I really want to look at within this goal, because it's just the desire to get in there. I love it. You cannot beat passion on a pitch, and he wanted to get on the end of this, and it's a brilliant header. It's an absolute bullet header. I was listening to some sort of talking about the goal that we scored, saying, oh, it shouldn't happen. It's a free header. No, he's got no right to get in there to start with. He's absolute get in there, get his head on it. Absolutely brilliant. Now, guys, grab a drink and just enjoy this piece of analysis, because it is absolutely exceptional. Kamara to Tielemans. If I could hang this on my wall, I would, right? Because it's so good. And why is it so good? It's so good because it shows that what Villa are trying to do and what we have in the middle of the park. We've just got an absolute baller, guys. I'm not going to lie. The ball's gone into Tielemans, and look what he's got surrounding him. He's got 3 players in a tight area, and our midfielder is so comfortable at receiving the ball, letting it roll across his body. He's sold Sanderberg because he's now going this way. Tielemans, touch, control, comes back inside. We've come back inside now. We've rolled the player. We've got 3 of them around him. His touch, technique, vision is just absolutely exquisite. He then completely gets the ball out of his feet now with power, driving forward. First thought, once he's been able to do this, head up, ball in behind. This is absolutely superb from Youri Tielemans. The ball goes in, and Watkins narrowly misses, and it's just so good from Tielemans. It is absolutely brilliant central midfielder play. And it shows what you should be doing in that situation to get the ball, receiving, turning, driving forward. So good. So good. I know a lot of people within the football world could look at that and go, oh, it's just received and turned. But no, that is absolutely quality. So good. Pure intelligence and technique. I thought that was just very, very good. And yeah, he's such a good midfielder. I really enjoy watching him, and he's one of my favourite players in the Premier League at the minute. Like, if he didn't play for Villa, I would be absolutely loving him at the minute. So here we've got something else which was very good. Pau Torres showing what he's all about. Nice ball into John McGinn. Tight spaces. Pau Torres, I thought he had a very good game with the ball at his feet as well. And again, we can see here that he was able to get it, roll, and then he played this nice little pass into Maatsen, who again Maatsen, first thought, bombing down there. Very, very quick. And then Tielemans, again, something else that he was fantastic at. Like, he's been striking from distance all season. Very good. And keeper saved it. And again, he's just the engine. He's taking things on. He's taking that initiative on the football pitch as well. Big moment for Villa, the Ollie Watkins miss. It gets worse every time I watch it, to be honest, because it should be in the back of the net and he should be burying it. And guys, this was a bad moment for Villa. And then we knew it. And very, very casual from Konsa in the middle of the pitch. I feel like Konsa was probably looking for that little foul that he takes. You know, when he gets clipped and he's in no man's land here and he's not in a position that I want to ever really see Konsa in central midfield with players in and around him, because just give the ball to Tielemans or give it to Kamara or Maatsen or someone in this situation, because he gets it, he dwells, he's trying to roll Jimenez. He then starts to chop back and come inside. Once he then comes inside, here I'm thinking just a nice little flick, a little layoff. He gets dispossessed. The ball then will go out to, I think it must be Iwobi. And then that's when Wilson has that massive opportunity. And here we have that opportunity. And you're thinking, that could have been a goal. And that all stems from just dwelling on the ball and dwelling on it, being comfortable and too controlled. And it was a bad moment because at that point, 1-1 or the next goal. So we've really got to make sure that we are better in those certain scenarios and situations. But, you know, Youri Tielemans, just very, very good. And, you know, even I'll go back to this one, guys. I'm going to go back to this, and I actually feel like Watkins should get on the end of this. I actually feel like he should get on the end of that. I've watched it back a couple of times now, and I know Bassey tries to make a little bit of a challenge, but I think he should get on the end of that. And I don't know whether I feel like at the minute this season, as the season draw, Watkins is like half a second off. And if he was half a second in front or where he needs to be, he could have had an hat trick. So for me, I feel like he could have got on the end of that. I think he might have misread the ball a little bit, but yeah, I want Watkins to be a bit sharper now. We've got 3 games to go. I need him sharp, and I need the balls to be going in the back of the net, because we've got a big game coming up against Bournemouth, and we really need him bang at it. So we've got heat maps, and you can start to see the picture for Villa, how narrow we were. But also we were narrow, but we do have the width because we've got 2 out wide that chop and change, come inside, swap sides. So we've got Rodgers, we've got McGinn, we've got Asensio, and we've got Watkins. And then your width will come from both sides as well, with fullbacks slightly asymmetric shape. We've got Kamara sitting, holding, protecting, and then Tielemans being able to have that more license to be able to dominate, etc., and get further forward. There was another time where I thought Tielemans was fantastic when he was just busting a gut defensively, his tackles. He was just so good for Aston Villa. And for me, I said it at the start, guys, captain material, because and what it does show is that within football and with Unai Emery, that don't judge players straight away. So with Marlon, etc., we want to see Marlon, but we've seen here and firsthand what happens at Villa. Marlon, Maatsen, etc., Tielemans, Onana, they don't all come in and start playing 90-minute games of football straight away. So that is a case study for us to look at. The growth and the journey of those players is something to look at as well. And remember when you hear a transfer rumor and you get, he's fat, he is, you know, he can't run. And then, like, they're coming at me. Just ignore all that. Ignore outside noise. Focus on what Emery gets out of them. And again, that's another lesson to us all. So, right, let's have a look at some of the numbers then behind the match. Jules Ward, 5 out of 7 for Tielemans, 75% passing accuracy, 80 for Martinez, 6 out of 8 Jules for McGinn, Rogers, 7 out of 10, Conser, 5 out of 7, Onana, 4 out of 6, Cash, 2 out of 8, Ramsey, 2 out of 2, Digne, 2 out of 5, Pau, 0 out of 7, which is not great at all. Kamara, 6 out of 16, which isn't great either. Watkins, 2 out of 5. Barkley, 1 out of 3. Passing accuracy, Pau, 98. Digne, 100. Marlon, 60. Ramsey, 80. Onana, 90. Conter, 96. Rogers, 79. McGinn, 81. Martinez, 80. And Youri, 75. So those are some of the numbers. From a Villa point of view, very good game to win. Performance, probably not quite at it, but a lot of positives still within that. And what it does mean is that, like I said yesterday, European football pretty much all sealed, delivered. Just which type we actually get. Huge game at Bournemouth. Huge game. They beat Arsenal. But all I'll say, enjoy your weekend. We'll build up to it, and it is going to be a big one. So we have got, I'm going to be at the under-18s on Monday. So I'll be watching those at Villa Park, hopefully lift the cup. Little thing for me, guys, on a personal level, is that baby is due this month, right? So if I disappear or there's not a certain episode, then you might be able to gather where I am. But as always, I do try and plan my content well. So it is coming this month. So, yeah, we might be missing from action at some point. But you'll find out when it is because you won't see me. So if you wonder where I am, then that's where I am. So, yeah. So it's basically it's coming during the season because that's when it's coming. So really excited for it as well. So yeah. Up the Villa. Make sure you smash the likes, subscribing to the channel, commenting your thoughts. See you on the next one.